Okay, so everyone's talking about AI these days, right? But what does it actually mean for us, like right now and in the future? Well, for today's deep dive, we've got this huge stack of recent articles, and they all seem to be pointing towards a really interesting future.
Yeah, it really is remarkable how fast things are moving in the world of AI. It used to be this thing you only heard about from research labs, and now it's everywhere you look. And these articles really highlight the potential of AI, but also some of the big challenges that come with it.
Right, so like it's not just hype anymore. I mean, these articles show that companies are betting big on AI, like TSMC, the biggest chip maker in the world. They're basically saying AI is their ticket to huge growth.
Yeah, and even the US government is getting in on the action, offering up federal land for AI data centers. So, yeah, it's pretty clear people are taking this seriously.
Seriously. But like all this investment, it kind of makes you wonder, is it sustainable? Especially when you consider the whole energy thing.
That's a great point. Data centers are already huge energy hogs, and AI is only going to increase the demand. And some of these articles really emphasize that concern.
Yeah, they're saying this AI boom could like derail our climate goals if we don't find ways to make these data centers more energy efficient.
And it's not just about the environment either. There's this growing worry that AI is going to start replacing jobs instead of just assisting people,
Oh yeah, one of the articles talked about this is UK businesses are already using AI to cut down on staff, and they're blaming rising costs.
which is kind of a scary thought, right? I mean, are we heading towards a future where machines are calling the shots?
Yeah, it's a bit unsettling, but on the flip side, there's no denying the incredible progress that's happening in AI technology.
Hmm,
Like these articles highlight some major breakthroughs, especially in things like translation and coding.
definitely. One article talks about this new AI model from Meta that can translate speech from over 100 languages.
Seriously. That's incredible. What would that even mean for communication?
Oh, it could be totally transformative. Think about it. No more language barriers in education business diplomacy. It could change everything.
That's wild. And there's also this article about Microsoft's 5.4. It's this smaller open source language model that's actually outperforming the giants, like GPT-4 in some tasks.
I know, right? It's kind of like David versus Goliath in the AI world. It just shows how fast things are moving and that even smaller players can make a big impact.
So it's clear that AI is more than just a buzzword. It's already having a real impact. But what does all this mean for us? The everyday people who are kind of caught in the middle of all this.
Yeah, that's the big question, isn't it? Like one of the articles talks about research from Salesforce that says something like 90% of people are open to using AI for public services.
So like people are willing to embrace it.
Yeah, it seems like there's a growing acceptance of AI's potential to make things easier,
Yeah.
streamline our lives. But then again, are we maybe getting too reliant on these digital helpers?
That's a good question because another article talks about this new concept of ambient agents, which are like AI systems that can anticipate our needs and handle tasks proactively.
Yeah, it's cool, but it also makes you wonder if we're giving up too much control.
For sure. And what about all the ethical concerns? Like one article raises some red flags about AI being used to manipulate things like political campaigns and even flooding platforms like Reddit with marketing junk.
Exactly. And then there's this whole AI arms race thing, between the US and China that another article talks about.
It seems like there's a lot of potential for things to go wrong.
There is, and that's why it's so important to have these conversations, to talk about the potential downsides and make sure we're developing and using AI responsibly.
Okay, so AI is obviously impacting like the tech world, the job market, and even international relations. But what about the impact on specific industries? Like you mentioned that meta translation model. What kind of changes could that bring?
Oh man, that technology could be huge. Like the article talks about its potential in fields like education business, even diplomacy. Imagine a world where language isn't a barrier anymore.
That would be amazing. But we've also talked about how AI could lead to job losses,
Yeah.
like those UK businesses using AI to replace staff. Do you think we'll see more of that?
I think it's inevitable. As AI gets more capable, it's going to automate certain tasks and roles, which means some jobs will disappear. It's this weird balance between innovation and job displacement.
It's definitely complicated.
Yeah.
And one article mentioned that AI is also creating new jobs, but those often require really specific skills.
Yeah.
So how do we make sure everyone benefits from this shift, not just a select few?
That's a great question. It's something policymakers and industry leaders really need to be thinking about. Like, how do we provide the right training and education so people can adapt to this new AI-driven economy?
Yeah, we need to make sure everyone has the opportunity to succeed in this new world. And then there's the whole energy consumption issue. One article claims that AI data centers could seriously jeopardize our zero-emission goals. It's kind of scary.
No doubt about it. The energy demands of AI are massive and they're growing fast. The data center industry needs to step up and invest in sustainable solutions like better cooling systems, renewable energy integration, and even energy efficient AI algorithms.
I have to admit, all this is a lot to process. Like every time you turn around, there's another AI development, another breakthrough, another potential problem.
Yeah, it can be overwhelming, but it's also incredibly exciting. We're living through a technological revolution, and we have the chance to shape its trajectory, to make sure AI is used for good.
Okay, well, we've covered a lot of ground already, but we've only just scratched the surface. We still have tons of articles to go through, exploring everything from the ethics of AI decision-making to the rise of those AI agents that could be running our lives in the future.
Right. It's going to be a fascinating journey. So stay tuned, everyone, because we're about to dive even deeper into the world of AI. So, we were just talking about those AI agents that could basically end up managing our lives. It sounds like something out of a movie, but this article here suggests it might not be that far off.
Yeah, it's kind of a mind-blowing concept. Like these ambient agents, they're supposed to learn what we like and do things for us automatically, which sounds super convenient, but also a little creepy.
Definitely. I mean, think about it. You're giving these AI systems access to like everything about you, your schedule, your habits, even your bank account. So yeah, privacy and data security are huge concerns.
Totally. And it makes you wonder, like, who actually owns all that data? Is it ours, or does it belong to the companies that make these AI agents?
That's a big question, and it's something that lawmakers are only starting to figure out. As AI becomes more and more a part of our lives, we need clear rules about who controls our data.
Speaking of control, one of the other articles we have paints a pretty dark picture of how AI could be used for surveillance and even like social control. It mentions things like facial recognition and those creepy social credit scoring systems they have in some countries.
I know it's a bit unsettling to think about, but it's a reminder that powerful technology can always be misused, and we need to be careful about how we develop and deploy AI.
Okay, enough scary stuff for now. Let's talk about something positive, like how AI is being used in healthcare. This article highlights some incredible breakthroughs happening in that field.
Oh, absolutely. AI is already changing healthcare in some really amazing ways. Like, this article focuses on AI tools that can analyze medical images like X-rays and CT scans, and they can do it with incredible accuracy, even better than human radiologists in some cases.
Wow, that's impressive. So does that mean radiologists are going to be out of a job soon?
No, not at all. It's not about replacing doctors, it's about giving them better tools.
Yeah.
So these AI systems can help with diagnosis, which frees up doctors to spend more time with their patients.
Yeah.
Focus on the human side of medicine.
So AI is a helper, not a replacement. I like that. What else is happening in AI healthcare?
Well, another article talks about how AI is being used to personalize treatment plans. By analyzing huge amounts of data, AI can identify patterns and trends that can help doctors create custom treatments for each patient.
And we've also seen some amazing progress in using AI to develop new drugs and therapies, especially for diseases like cancer.
Right. AI is accelerating the pace of drug discovery, which could lead to cures for some of the world's most challenging diseases. It's really exciting stuff.
But let's not forget about the cost of all this high-tech healthcare. Will everyone be able to afford it, or will it just be for the wealthy?
That's a really important point. We need to make sure that the benefits of AI in healthcare are accessible to everyone, not just a privileged few.
It sounds like we're entering a whole new era of healthcare, one that's driven by data and algorithms. But as with any powerful technology, there are ethical considerations. We need to make sure AI is used responsibly.
Absolutely. One article raises concerns about the potential for AI to be used for surveillance, even in healthcare. Like, imagine if your health data was constantly being tracked and monitored. That could be a real invasion of privacy.
Yeah, that's a scary thought. So we need to be careful about how we use AI in healthcare and make sure it doesn't erode our privacy and autonomy.
Exactly. It's all about finding the right balance.
Yeah.
Harnessing the power of AI while also protecting our rights and values.
So it seems like we're walking a tightrope between the potential of AI to improve our lives and the risks if it's not used responsibly.
That's a great way to put it. And that's why these conversations are so important. We need to talk about these issues openly and honestly and make sure AI is developed and used in a way that benefits everyone.
Okay, so we've talked about healthcare, but this stack of articles also covers AI's influence on other areas. Like, what about the creative fields? Is there a place for AI in art, music, and literature?
Oh, that's a really interesting question, and one that's causing a lot of debate right now. Like, one article talks about how AI is being used to create some pretty amazing works of art, compose original music, even write poetry and scripts.
Yeah, I've seen some of the AI-generated art.
Yeah,
It's pretty wild. Some of it is even selling for millions of dollars. And there's AI music top in the charts. It's definitely shaking things up.
for sure. And it's making people think differently about what it means to be creative. Like,
Oh.
will AI replace human artists? Or will it become a tool that helps us be even more creative?
It feels like we're on the verge of a whole new artistic movement, one where the lines between human and machine creativity are blurred. It's exciting, but also a little bit scary.
I agree. It's uncharted territory, and it'll be fascinating to see how AI continues to shape the creative landscape. But one thing's for sure, AI is here to stay, and its impact is only going to grow.
Okay, so we've covered a lot of ground, but there's still so much to explore. In the final part of our deep dive, we'll get into some of the bigger philosophical and ethical questions surrounding AI. Like, will it make inequality worse? How do we deal with AI bias? And can we even regulate this technology?
Those are the big questions, and they're not easy to answer. But they're questions we need to be asking ourselves if we want to create a future where AI benefits all of humanity.
All right, so we've talked about AI in healthcare and even in the art world, but now let's get to the really big questions, the ones that keep people up at night.
Yeah, the impact of AI goes way beyond just new gadgets and cool apps. It really makes you think about what it means to be human in a world where machines are playing a bigger and bigger role.
One of the articles we have here talks about how AI could actually make inequality worse. Like, if we're not careful, it could widen the gap between the rich and the poor.
That's a really important point. AI systems are trained on data, and that data often reflects existing biases in our society. So if we're not careful, AI could actually perpetuate and amplify those biases, leading to unfair outcomes in all sorts of areas.
Like, what kind of areas?
Well, think about things like hiring decisions, loan applications, even criminal justice. If AI systems are trained on biased data, they could end up discriminating against certain groups of people.
So it's not just about the technology itself, it's about how we use it and making sure it's used fairly.
Exactly. And there's a growing movement within the AI community to address this issue. They call it algorithmic fairness, which basically means designing and training AI systems in a way that minimizes bias and promotes equality.
That sounds like a good step in the right direction. But another article we have highlights the challenges of regulating this technology.
Yeah.
It seems like AI is moving so fast that lawmakers can't keep up.
It's a real problem. Traditional regulations often struggle to keep pace with rapid technological change, and AI is a prime example of that.
So how do we create regulations that are effective, but also flexible enough to adapt to the constant evolution of AI?
It's a tough question. One idea that's being explored is agile regulation, which basically means creating regulations that are designed to be iterative and adaptable, constantly evolving to keep pace with the technology they're trying to govern.
So it's like a more dynamic approach to regulation, constantly adjusting to the changing landscape of AI.
Exactly. But even with the right regulations, there are still big ethical questions to consider. Like, how do we make sure that AI is developed and used in a way that aligns with our values as a society?
That's a big one. It's not just about what's legal, it's about what's right.
Right. We need to have open and honest conversations about the potential risks and benefits of AI and make sure that diverse voices are included in those conversations.
We need to think about the kind of future we want to create with AI and make sure that it's a future that benefits everyone, not just a select few.
I think that's the key takeaway here. AI is an incredibly powerful tool, but it's up to us to decide how we use it.
Well, our deep dive into the world of AI has been fascinating and honestly a little bit overwhelming.
I know what you mean. It's a lot to take in, but it's also incredibly exciting.
Definitely AI has the potential to completely change the world as we know it, and it's already happening.
But that, as we've discussed, it's not a magic solution. It comes with its own set of risks and challenges.
We need to be aware of those risks and work to mitigate them. If we're not careful, AI could end up exacerbating existing inequalities, perpetuating biases, even eroding our privacy and autonomy.
But we also need to be open to the incredible possibilities that AI offers. It has the potential to solve some of the world's biggest problems, unlock new levels of human creativity, and connect us in ways we never thought possible.
It's a powerful tool, and it's up to us to use it wisely.
Absolutely. The future of AI is in our hands.
So that's it for our deep dive into the world of AI. We hope you found it informative and thought-provoking.
And maybe even a little bit inspiring.
As always, we encourage you to keep learning, keep exploring, and keep asking questions about this amazing technology. The future is full of possibilities, and it's up to all of us to shape it in a way that benefits humanity.
Thanks for joining us.
Until next time, keep those AI algorithms buzzing and those human minds wondering.